Uh,
It's unfiltered.
good morning, everyone. Hope you are doing very well. It's Tony here. I'm at the Faculty of Health Science at University of Cape Town, and we are busy with a 2 weeks in-person genomic sequencing course. And here I have one of our participants with us. So tell us about yourself, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, my name is Prince Mushunje. So I'm a citizen of Zimbabwe who's currently studying here at UCT at the Molecular and Cell Biology Department. So currently I'm doing my PhD in molecular and cell biology, looking at nasopharyngeal samples. And I'm more interested in the resistome as well as what happens, the interactions that occur between the bacterium and the human, the host itself. So this is an interesting course, and I'm happy to be interviewed by you. Thank you.
Okay, it's good to have you with us here, Prince. So you mentioned you from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
What type of sort of undergrad or studies did you complete back at home?
So whilst I was still in Zimbabwe, I did my BSc in applied biology and biochemistry. So most of my time I worked with plants.
Okay.
Yes, before I could move to the human genomic side. But most of my work was basically plants, where I looked at the characterization of blood rhizobium strains from leguminous plants, mostly cowpea. And I was working with the National University of Science and Technology, that is in Zimbabwe, in Bulawayo. So basically that was what I was doing, yes.
So you're sort of coming from a more biological background, especially in the lab side.
Yes.
So now you're sort of doing more computational aspect as well now, and especially what we've been learning at the course. You know, there's coding, syntax, command line. How are you finding that transition?
Being honest, it has been a uphill mountain to climb, because as a wet biology person, you are used to follow protocols.
Yes.
And most of the protocols have been put in place.
Right.
And they're in existence. So it's just a matter of going to the lab, do this, do that, and if it doesn't work, try to optimize through this.
Sure.
Now coming at the computational part, where your friend becomes your computer.
Okay.
And there you are trying to run a code, and you don't really understand what's going on. Challenging, and meeting all those errors, and you don't know how to navigate.
Yes.
Just to know that I missed a certain key or a certain letter only. That's the one that is making my pipeline break. So coming to this course, it's an eye opener for me. Like really, it has given me the edge that this thing is doable.
I see.
It's something that if you put your mind to it, and not to be to have that feeling of saying I cannot do it, because once you get into that space, it becomes difficult. Yes. So because most of my projects, even where I am doing my PhD currently, I'm more into bioinformatics.
Right.
But I didn't have any experience. That's the honest truth. So when I came to this course, now it's even giving me light in terms of how I go about with the project that I am doing.
I see.
How do I run this code? What does this mean? And if I get challenges, how do I get onto the GitHub, or how do I look into the community? So the instructors have been very helpful, if I may say, in directing us to the right paths that we should take.
In terms of finding, solutions to a problem that you might have encountered before.
Yes.
I see. And then maybe just share some of your experience. If there's a young scientist out there, that's finished an undergrad, they're thinking about coming to bioinformatics. What do they need to consider?
I think basically the first thing to consider the first thing to say is it's doable, right?
Okay.
And as long as you have people around you, that's the other thing, that are there to support you.
Yes.
As long as you are able to find a community, and as long as you have a computer. So it's I've seen a lot of people who have moved from different, like Epi, for example. Epi, she was speaking that she has been in
Yes.
mathematics, but
Sure.
now she's doing computational biology.
Yes.
So I think as long as you have a background of biology itself and a little bit of maths and computers, you are able to really navigate into this field. Because this field, one thing I've realized is the field to go currently. Because there's a lot of data that people have generated over the years, but there are few people who are there to synthesize and dig deep into the data. So it still have a lot of questions that can be answered from all the data that has been generated. Because I'll use from my experience, for example, the data that I'm using was generated some time back.
Oh, I see. Okay. So there's a huge amount of backlog in terms of data,
Yes.
but there's not enough expertise to actually interpret this data or generate meaningful results from this data.
Yes.
So the data is there, but we need people with bioinformatics skills to be able to run pipelines and workflows to actually figure out what these data means.
Yes, definitely. That's the thing that I'm realizing at the moment. So I think for all the young students or young scientists, it's important that we try to venture into this niche.
Okay.
Yes, it's important because as a niche that is, can I say growing?
Yeah.
Because there are still people who understand this much.
Yeah.
As a niche that is still growing, it's a place to tap into, and it's a place where we can thrive, and it's a place where now we can answer, like what you're saying, answer a lot of questions of the data that has been available, or that has because some people are still generating more data.
Yes.
But they don't have enough manpower and capacity to look at that data that they've generated. Because you find most people will just look at the phenotypic side, the wet lab side.
Right.
Once they answer what's there and what's not there, that's all what they can do. They don't go now deeper into look what is behind what is there, what is causing, what is this, and interpret everything.
To get maybe a more, policy perspective.
Yes.
Government, health institutions.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned that you sort of come to South Africa from Zimbabwe. Is it a big, culture change? What are some of your challenges, being a student here at UCT?
So basically, when I came here, the transition was not as easy as I thought it could be.
Okay.
Because now I was coming in a foreign land.
Okay.
We thank God that at least they speak English.
Sure.
English is now our universal language.
Sure.
But before I could stay near UCT, I used to stay further away into the location because of financial challenges.
Yes.
Resources wise. So communication was a factor for me.
Right.
And I felt, like you are alone.
Yes, isolated.
But the UCT community is one of the good communities that I can say.
Okay.
It welcomed me well, even through my transition. My supervisors, the department, my lab mates, they all assisted me into getting into the groove of the culture and understanding what is required and what I must do within the system.
Right.
So yes, it was not easy, but what I can say is I had a good team. I had good people behind me who could really assist. Because when I came here, I had done my honors, like what I said.
Yeah.
But I didn't have much of a molecular background because it was just biology, general biology, plants, only culture mostly.
Right.
So when I came here, I didn't have much of a molecular biology. So I had to take a step back.
To learn the biology.
To learn the molecular side.
Okay.
Because in Zim, if I may to say, equipment is not as accessible in terms of PCRs. It's mostly theory based than practical based.
Okay.
So coming now to do my honors, I had to step back, take my honors first so that I could learn more of the techniques.
Right.
Then from there, I had to step in and do now my masters. So at least that step helped me to transit from this to this point. Yes, that's the other thing I can say. But yeah, it has been in uphill, but yeah, it's something that we are managing, and it's something that is manageable. That's what I can say. They say when you put your mind to it, you work towards it. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very useful also for you, Prince, to share your perspective, because I mean, maybe a lot of young scientists are out there and they don't really know what the first step is like. But as you mentioned, you have to have the mindset. Once you dedicate yourself, all you need is a laptop and a good support system.
Sure.
And then you're able to take, one step at a time to learn and progress.
Yes. And another thing, what you need also is a matter of also continuously going online.
Okay.
Look for training programs such as these.
Oh, I see.
Yes, be it online or in person, because it is through those training. But sometimes the idea of just sitting yourself with your laptop without that community, without also having people that have gone through it, you may try and you may feel like it's not working.
Yeah.
Because you don't have people to communicate with, to ask how they have navigated through this specific challenge.
Gotcha.
Or how they've gone through to become bioinformaticians they are today. So it's mostly important also to just go online, follow these pages, follow organizations that are into computational biology.
Yes.
Have an out-minded perspective of what's really out there in the world. I think, and have it will help you, especially in trying to understand more and trying to get more out of bioinformatics.
Yeah, I think you can't be in your own sphere of bubble. You have to really interact with other people who might, gone through the challenges you have.
Yes.
So you can learn from their mistakes and their past experience.
That's true. That's true. That I agree with that. And yeah.
Okay, and then as we sort of come to the end of this interview, I have two final questions for you. I guess the first question is, we sort of 3/4 away through 2025.
Yes.
We have seen, the hype of AI and the technological advancements.
Yeah.
Do you sort of use AI, or how do you see the future or where this goes?
Now you're putting me on this spot. So AI is coming here to stay. That's one thing I can say.
Okay.
So yes, some of this, yes, I can say I use AI.
Okay.
Yes, because there are times that you don't understand things.
So you ask.
I ask AI,
Okay.
but I don't fully depend on AI.
Okay, I see.
That's the thing. Because I remember at some point there was this friend of mine. If I can tell you this story, there was this friend of mine. So he wanted to he asked AI about a specific topic.
Yes.
That was chat. So in doing so, it gave him with some references.
Okay.
Without him really taking the reference and go through the reference to check if it's a real.
Or he just believed.
He just believed and took it and just put it on the paper.
Okay.
Now, when we are busy reviewing it, like a group reviewing before we can submit it, that's when we are clicking the reference. It's speaking of other things different from what AI is speaking. So it's good that AI is there, but also human capacity is also needed, and our own research skills. Let AI, with me, what I use AI is to guide me.
Okay.
To say, I don't understand this, help me to get the other perspective of this. So AI directs me, gives me the definition and what he thinks and everything. Then from there, I take that. I also now go online, research as a person.
Okay,
what other studies have done,
to verify
sources,
make sure that before you trust the information, you actually do your own research. Validate.
To validate what it would have bring you. But AI is here to stay. That's one thing I can say. And it's a tool that we can use, especially in bioinformatics, because I see, for example, I realize there's another code, VS Code and everything. It's have a chat block at the side, which assists, especially when your code is not running through, you just copy and paste it there. It will tell you, oh, There's an error here, you put another full stop where it's not supposed to be there, you put this.
Oh, so you actually paste that error message into the AI,
Yeah.
and the AI is able to
Detect
tell
and
you. Okay. That's very useful.
Yeah, so yeah, that's
No, I think that's very useful, and also for other people might to know as well, to start using the tool to better help them.
themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess the last question I have for you, Prince, is there are a lot of people on the African continent, and the population is growing and growing, and Africa, I think, remains a burden to the rest of the world because there's many communicable, non-communicable disease here. There's also lack of infrastructure, resources, not only in Zimbabwe, in other countries. There's a civil war in Sudan. What do you think that needs to be done, either from a government perspective, from an institutional perspective, to ensure that there is enough opportunity and knowledge given to the next generation of young scientists, so that when the time comes, they are able to be, the pioneers of science and technology?
Okay. So, first of all, one thing I've realized that I would like to say is Africa, like what we are saying, is under-resourced from itself, right? So you find out that Africa produces quite a good number of scientists.
Okay.
That's the first thing I realized. But we can't retain that workforce because of these, when people get education, the next thing they expect is to be fed or to have a comfortable life.
Go to better countries.
So they end up going to better countries,
Got you.
leaving that same niche open. So it's kind of like it's a circle of we produce quality scientists, quality researchers, but they leave, and the niche continues. So I think the government and groups need to invest in capacity building of the manpower that will stay within that region. You need to invest in advanced molecular or advanced technological equipment that can facilitate continuous research to continuously And I also believe Africa, it needs African people.
Yeah.
There was that saying that says African problems need African solutions.
Yes.
I always love that statement. So what we need from an African point of view is to have investment that can be put within Africa for some technological advancement, and that we are able to facilitate the development and find solutions to some of the problems, such as the communicable diseases that we are speaking about. So it's easier if all these things are being done in Africa, and these African people, the manpower is kept within Africa, getting enough resources within Africa. It will help in the advancement, and also it gives them what do you call it? What do I want to say? It gives the basis of, for example, scientists of like me to return and continuously develop where I am.
So you want to almost set up a foundation,
yes,
for people to be able to build on. And if government or institutions are able to invest in the local communities, ensure that expertise and field expert is able to train and teach,
yes,
and there will be a growing number of more expertise and more advanced technologists, scientists, and they can spread and be able to empower themselves and their own communities.
Yes. For example, right now, like what you're saying, there's this program that is done mostly at UCT, which I love so much. Like every year, every holidays, they bring grade 12s, the secondary school kids.
Yes.
So they come into different labs. They come into different faculties.
Yes.
Where now they get kind of the feel of what to expect once they start their undergrads.
Yes.
So I think it's something that also is needed in a lot of African institutes.
Right.
For career guidance, to go into these whilst they are still young, and give them the hands-on experience to say, you see me as a bioinformatician, this is what I've been doing. So we are having a computational biology at UCT. These are the laptops that we have. This is the HPC.
Yes.
So if you want to be a computational biology, this is one. teach them programming while they are still young. It makes life easier, and it helps. There's this thing that I saw online about there were two different groups. One is busy teaching their children.
Yes.
I will not say the country. Busy teaching their kids life skills at a very young age.
Yeah.
Whilst the other side is busy, let's say, dancing.
Okay.
At a very young age.
Yeah.
You see, already there's a different direction and a different investment.
Yes.
That is, I'm not saying dancing is wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if 90% of a community is dancing and 10% is putting their minds in finding solutions, it becomes a challenge.
Yes.
But if 90% of a community is being taught life skills, let's say of the learners is being taught life skills, is being taught computational biology, is being taught wet lab, is being taught science, is being taught mathematics, modeling, and everything. You see, at a young age, it helps to equip them to start already ask those questions.
Yes.
And try to find solutions to those questions. So I think that's something that the best is where Africa needs to up its game to make sure that we catch them young. They say catch them young, teach them the way, direct them.
Yeah.
So that at least whilst they are still young, they still have those questions that they think they have to answer. So I think we also need that, yes, in the return of our workforce.
I think what you say is really important, that guidance, just to show, a holistic view of what you're going to get yourself into.
Yes.
It's really important.
Yes, it's very important.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Prince.
Thank you so much for the time, and thank you for this interview. Okay, bye.